Hey, what's up, everybody? The Noise of the North, Dano the Mano here with another Golden Mike podcast and SeaDek Exclusive, and what a special day it is. Not only the final Stop the Performance Ski and Surf Gravel Tour, but for the first time in 2 years, I got to announce an event with the legend himself, Brad Smeele. Great to see you back in the States, Brad. What's happening?
Damn, it couldn't feel better to be back here. I've been here a few days now and just kind of been working back into it and going pretty full on, catching up with everyone, and made it out here to the gravel tour. And it's so good to be back here at OWC, at the contest scene, back on the mic with you, and it's just, absolute pleasure to be back.
Dude, what a trip it had to be for you. I saw on social media you almost had to cut this one short. I know you came in a week late. You had some medical issues you had to deal with. First of all, before we start talking a little bit about some of the wakeboard stuff, talk about that flight, because that's got to be a heavy trip coming from around the world.
Yeah, so I had to delay the flight by about 10 days initially, and then as I was arriving to the airport, ready to get on the plane, sitting in my van, and next thing I'm just drenched in sweat, blood pressure's through the roof. And so, we identified the problem and managed to get it sorted out pretty quickly and fast enough so I could get on the flight. And, being in my position, I had to make sure I was comfortable flying over, so I flew in business class and on Air New Zealand, and they got me nice and comfortable. It actually wasn't too bad. I had a good sleep and just did the little changeover in Houston, made it to Orlando nice and safe and sound.
So now you're here in Orlando and you're staying out at Lake Roanoke. What's been happening out at the lake since you've been back?
Well, it's cool because I arrived there, woke up the next morning, went outside, and I was like, this doesn't look like Lake Roanoke, because I was in a completely new spot which got purchased while I was gone. So it was really cool to kind of discover that side of things and check out the new part of Lake Roanoke. And we did the tour around, went back to where my trailer was, back to where I had my injury, and obviously that was bittersweet. There was a little bit emotional, but it was definitely cool to get back there, and it's sort of just confronting that that, I guess, that ghost or that issue head on. It's something that I think about that day all the time, and I was posted up basically right where the last time I stood, sitting there as if I was about to launch off that mega ramp again. And so all those feelings came back. It was just so cool to be back at Lake Roanoke. Once I got past the emotion, it's just so rad to be back with the crew. All the team came out. We had a big grill out and had a few beers and some good times. And it's just awesome to be back.
All right, so you're here in Orlando for a couple of weeks, and you're going to be on the other side of the U.S. What's on the agenda? What's the plan?
So I've had my first session just a couple of days ago at Project Walk here in Orlando, and it was exactly what I needed. It's exactly what I've been looking for. We do have some rehab places I go to in New Zealand, but they're just a little more set up out here, and they've got, just got the facilities and got the training and the experience. And so, my first session there, I was just blown away. It was amazing. I actually had to cancel the second day, the following day, because I was so sore and so tired. I didn't want to push it. But once I'm done with a couple of weeks of rehab there, I'm heading out to Southern California to go to a place called Strides, which is another rehab place. And while I'm there, I'm also going to be visiting the UCLA spinal cord injury research team, and going to go and have a chat to them about what they're up to and some of the stuff they're working on, and whether I can potentially be involved in any trials.
So, Brad, definitely looking forward to seeing the progress and all of that. I want to talk about some of the charity efforts that have been going on here in the States. Obviously for the past 600 days, you've been back home in New Zealand and doing your best to recover and rehab and fight through this injury. But you've had a lot of people behind you and showing some support. And, this summer we came together, the WWA, the World Wakeboard Association, Duncan Yo-Yos, myself, Chad Sharp, we all put our heads together with some charity efforts, and we were able to raise a few $1,000s. Man, how does it feel having all of that support?
It's seriously cool. I mean, over the last few years, there's been a lot of money raised for myself, for my future, and just, obviously because a lot's changed, I can't sort of make a living for myself just yet, which, obviously working on that. But, really cool to have all that support. And then now with the foundation going, we're putting all of the money from now on out to spinal cord injury research, and that's a big thing that I'm going to be working on. But every time I see something posted or I get a message from someone, and there's so many people out there trying to raise money that really care, yourself included. Just the yo-yos were pretty rad, and we got the graphics over from the t-shirts that I designed and got those all printed up and sold here. And it's just so super cool to have such an amazing support from such a loving industry. I kind of I guess it makes you appreciate the amount I got involved and the amount of people I met along the way, and I guess, I made some sort of an impact because they've just all rallied behind me, and I couldn't thank everyone enough for the support. I'm really indebted to everyone for life, and I know that everyone's just doing it because, for the love and for the support, and just know that I really appreciate it.
All right, so B-Rad, if anybody out there wants to show some of their support for you or some of your causes, where can they go to? What do they need to do?
Well, at the moment, we're getting things set up. The Brad Smeele Foundation, we're changing things up there. We're changing it to B-Rad's movement. So what that means is we're following my movements around the world. We're following my quest to regain movement in my body. And we're also creating a movement amongst the people to raise money and create a call to action. So it's all based around movement, and we're going to get things set up there. But we're partnered up with a charity called the Catwalk Trust in New Zealand, and that's where people can go to donate. There's some amazing research happening in New Zealand for spinal cord injury research for directly after the injury to prevent the injury from getting worse, and giving people a chance of walking again, but then also for any procedures moving on to really limit any damage and to give people the best chance of making a full recovery. So go to catwalktrust.org or Google the Catwalk Trust on Google, and that's where you can donate. Otherwise, just look up me on the Facebook page. We're at the moment still Brad Smeele's Recovery, but changing it to B-Rad's Movement. So keep an eye out there, and just jump on board. We're going to be having some campaigns going. The whole idea is just to get involved and get people to support the cause.
All right, B-Rad, before I let you go, anybody you want to send a hello or a shout out to out there in Webland?
Oh, man. So, Loveland. Well, yeah, I don't know about that, but I just want to say a big shout out to just everyone. I can't name anyone in particular because there's just so many, and I'd forget so many important people. So I don't want to do that, but just thanks to everyone. Thanks to you, Dano. It's just an honor to be back here on the mic with you on the Golden Mike podcast, and we'll be here for a couple more weeks, so we'll catch up a few more times in that time.
And we definitely will. You guys make sure to keep your ears open. We're going to do a proper podcast episode. It was last one was number 8. You're probably going to be somewhere between 51 and 53 coming up here before the end of the year, guys. The legend himself, B-Rad Smeele. I'm the Noise of the North, Dano the Mano, and this has been another Golden Mike podcast, SeaDek Exclusive. Thanks!